Hey again. Off we go. Today we are doing some active recovery. I'm not gonna lie, this is not my favorite thing in the world to do. It's fine. uh, it's kind of boring, I think. You know, it's incredibly effective. It's a good thing to do. I like to go fast. But I'll kind of talk through kind of what I'm after, what I'm looking for. So active recovery should be 100% zone 1. This is you really shouldn't feel any stress on a ride like this. So what I like to do is we're trying to, clear out the bad stuff from the ride yesterday. We're trying to build up some mitochondrial density, which will help us have a better ride tomorrow. So what you really want to do is just focus on spinning with very, very light pressure on the pedals. And I'm going to vary my cadence a little bit through the ride today. One, to help entertain myself, and two, that helps with. Well, I mean, there's a number of things. It helps build that mitochondrial density. It also, we can use a ride like this to think about or kind of work on our pedaling technique a little bit. But the whole key is making sure that we're not putting any undue stress on our muscles or our cardio. So the one, can't remember who said it, was a former coach, I think, told me that the way you want to think about a ride like this is grandma pace. So no, just going out spinning your legs. I don't, oh man. I don't ride outside of workout mode very often, unless I'm in a race. So, but man, every time those little sprint segments and KOMs come up when I'm not, or I'm just riding in the world, like, oh, it is so tempting to just let it go, especially after yesterday. If you weren't with me yesterday, I was doing an endurance ride and just trying to add a little extra stress. Doing some like zone 5-ish surges to just add a little more stress inside, trying to get it like an endurance ride inside of an hour. And I wasn't getting quite the stress that I wanted out of the ride, so towards the end, I decided to do full-on sprints for like the last 3 surges, and ended up setting a new max power. All 3 of those sprints were over 1,300 watts. My previous absolute best was like 1150 or something like that. So all of them were over my my absolute best, and I ended up setting a brand new PMax at 1576, which is just crazy. So that was super fun. So now I see these segments. I kind of know I've got something new in my legs, and I want to use it. But that's not what we're doing today. The whole point is, you go through, or you test yourself like that, and you see something new, and that is just evidence that the plan works. So it's really tempting to just get out here and put some power down, but that's just what I want to do. I just really want to get up and go, but that's such an exciting thing. But we're sticking to the plan. The plan works. This, that's 1,500 watts. That's nice. But we're just getting going here. We're just getting started. I've got some exciting stuff coming that'll improve the quality of these videos as well. It'll improve the quality of the stream. I should get better frame rate. Graphics quality will be a little bit better. I'll actually be able to run it. I'm running this right now on an old, it's like an early 2015 MacBook Air. I was gonna say Pro, but it's a MacBook Air. And so I've got the graphics settings dialed all the way down on Zwift. I've got to go through and shut down every other application, just run my streaming software and the game, and that's it. Bare bones. So hopefully I'll have a little more power to dial that stuff up and get make the game look a little better. Better frame rate. So even now, I bet you we're probably running 30 frames per second, something like that, if that. So you can see even with nobody around, it's a little choppy. So we'll smooth that out. We'll get it going. All right. So at 10 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 5-minute pedaling set. We'll do, well, you know what, let's make it 6 minutes. I'll do One on, one off. There we go. One on. Try to maintain around 100 RPMs for a minute. Make sure I'm focusing on my form. Knees in close to the top tube. Make sure those knees are tracking straight. Flexibility wise, I definitely feel better than yesterday. Man, I was super tight. Did a little stretching. Still probably not as much as I should. I'll do a little more today too. It's a good thing to do when you have a little bit more time with an active recovery day. All right. I dialed up the power a little more than I probably should have there, but still was not, that was probably more of a cardio stress than a muscular stress. But you see what that does? Like now I'm spinning 90 RPMs, and it feels like I'm hardly pedaling at all. Like, you know, it's super, super important. It sucks and I hate it, pedaling at those high cadences. It is not something that comes naturally to me at all. But it is a very, very important cycling skill. And really, kind of one of the easiest to get going. You know, all you really have to do, and I was sitting here talking and I missed my next target, so we'll hit it again at 13. Take 2 minutes off on the first one. But it doesn't cost you anything, and it'll make your riding better. And all you have to do is just find that cadence. If you've never done pedaling work at all, find that cadence that's just a little uncomfortable. You know, just a little faster than is comfortable. So we'll do that again right now. And for me, what I'm doing here, I'm trying to spin about as fast as I can without bouncing up and down in the saddle. And a trick here as well, you see I've got a bend in my elbows, getting a little more forward. When you put a little more weight in your hands, it actually helps you spin faster. You don't have quite as much weight on your pelvis. Now 115, man, that is really good for me. There we go. I think my heart rate monitor is due for a battery. It's, look at that, where is it? Right here. Find that. Definitely raised it. It changed from 119. There's no question about that. I'll try, disconnect and reconnect. Nope, I think she's dead. That's okay. For any ride for this thing to die on, I'm glad it happened today. It's Not that the data isn't important today. Oops, here we go. Start another one. But it doesn't. It's probably not as critical. So the other thing here too, with my posture, that I've noticed in the last 6 months, I've lost 20 pounds or a little bit more. I'll talk a little bit more about it when I'm done with this set here, but this rep. But it's a little easier to get into this position now because I don't have quite as much on the front porch. So, you know, when you look at the your hip flexion, your hip going into your trunk, we don't have that what we call soft tissue approximation, where your thigh starts running into your gut. I've got a lot. There's still a little. I'm still a little softer there than I want to be, but it is definitely has moved in the right direction, and I can really feel that I'm able to sit in here more like I want to. And you know, when you're outside, that helps you cheat the wind a little bit more. But the more forward you are, the more you can actually bring your glutes in to your pedal cycle. Actually makes you more efficient. So this is a kind of ride where I'm really trying to focus on that form. So relax your shoulders. You know, make sure you got a good bend in your elbows. This is probably as good as I've looked on the bike. You're not going to see this every day, unfortunately, but keep working on it. Especially when you start getting into really important intervals. Getting into that good form will really help you maximize your efforts. Have I done? Yeah, I've done 3. So I'm just gonna cruise a little bit now for a little while. I'm only doing 30 minutes today, and I gotta say, having the stream going definitely helps. You know, kind of just talking you through it, talking myself through it, having something to kind of keep my mind off of just spinning easy really helps. So there's another tip for you. Find something to, I mean, you gotta focus, but you know, find little games, find little mental things that you can do to help pass the time. When I'm doing long sets, especially like FTP work or something like that, you know, I always break it. In my mind, I always break it up into segments. You know, like if it's like a 15-minute effort, I always break it up into, like, in my mind, like 5-minute sections. You know, where it's like, all right, got through the first third, got through the second third. You know, and then it's just 5 minutes, and then you're done. You know, it's just finding little games like that to play helps you get through those efforts and get done what you need to get done. I just realized for the first time in a while that I am in sim mode. I'm actually climbing a hill. I just felt the power kind of dial up on me there, so shift down and ease your gear. Make sure I'm not putting any stress on the legs that I don't need to. So a couple of things to really think about on your active recovery days are, you know, it should be a shorter ride, so you should have a little bit more time, and I would encourage you to fill that time with stretching. I'll do, you know what, I hadn't, you're literally seeing stream of consciousness right now, but I had not thought about that at all, but I will, I'll set up and do I'll stream a stretching, I'm not set up to do it today, but I'll set up a stream for my stretching routine, and you can see how ridiculously tight I am. I am probably the least flexible person you've ever seen. It's just crazy. And cycling, of course, does not help that one bit. So, I see I've got a little response out of my heart rate monitor, but not responding in real time, so it's battery time. Yeah, I've got a good, my fiance is actually a physical therapist, so she's helped me kind of develop a great flexibility routine for cyclists. And, you know, kind of based off of my needs. My hips are just insanely tight. You know, and what that does is pulls your pelvis forward, which then puts, pulls on your hamstrings, and I mean, you know, so there's, for me, I really need to focus way more on that stuff than I do. You know, but doing stuff, there's some upper body stuff that we can stretch out that helps you, you know, get into this, you know, better. This still isn't like this isn't quite where I want to be yet, but I'm getting there. And that's something where, you know, if you really want to start maximizing your power output and your posture, you don't have to. There's a lot of trial and error that you can do, especially when you have access to power meters and stuff like that. You know, where you can actually. It's one of the things I love about Zwift is, you know, you're always hooked up to a power meter. You can change things and watch it in real time and see how it how it affects things. I'm noticing my breath is a little elevated right now, so I'm gonna calm that down. But if you really want to cut out the guesswork, you know, going to a bike fitter and just having an expert dial in your position is, I mean, I highly recommend it. It'll change the way you ride your bike in a great way. I mean, you'll be able to put out more power. You'll be able to tolerate those positions longer. Reduce your chance of injury. All all really good stuff. I want to test something here too. I've been trying to get my the chat window to pop up on. So I'm gonna pop in a little test message here. There. I think that actually works. I realize that in a few of these sessions I've been chatting with folks, and I'm responding, and if you're watching it after the fact, or you don't have chat, if you don't have the chat window pulled up, like that's a little weird and out of context. So there. Hopefully that is fixed forever. More fun for everybody. All right, look at this. We're almost done. I'm going to do one more minute. I'm going to do one more minute here, see if I can crank out that 115 RPMs again. Now, I don't know if I quite got it. Form, breathing, relax. There. Not just good, good enough. Oh, now my heart rate monitor is responding, and yeah, it's probably a little much, 160. That's not really not really the goal on this workout, but wouldn't say that's exactly grandma pace, but it is good. Higher cadence work, working that stuff in, doing those pedaling drills like that once in a while. You can do those on your endurance day. And actually will, when you start doing higher end intervals, you'll be able to get more out of them. And you know what I think? I don't think it's the battery on this. I think the leads are a little too dry. Now I think about it, I didn't put anything on them, and just starting to perspire just a hair now. Just in time for the workout to be over. There we go. 30 minutes of active recovery. Just feel amazing. Oh man, so refreshed and ready to go. I did get a few hours of sleep last night, so I do actually feel pretty refreshed. It's amazing when you've gone without consistent sleep for a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden you string together a couple of consecutive hours. Like, man, that just feels magical. Actually, I am sweating more than I should. So I did work a little too hard on this one, so mental note. That was a little much. But I do feel good about getting the pedaling stuff done, because that is something that I do like to try to work in. So let's shut this nonsense down. And for some reason, this seems to be the path to get to. No. Oh, that's right. I didn't do a workout today, so so I'm not going to bring out my workout data. So I'll have to check it out. I mean, well, it's active recovery. You know, there's not a lot that I really want to see. There's nothing that Zwift is going to show me, but what I'm actually a little more interested in is what's called the quadrant analysis, which is it's a pedaling metric, and so I kind of want to see where my cadence ended up and how much time I spent. Well, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But it does kind of give you a good idea of like where your pedaling is. That 115 RPMs, I am super happy with how that's coming along, especially for how little I've been one working on it and two stretching out. And of course I'm on the my bike is the KHS Flight 747, which has 200 millimeter crank arms. It's made for fully grown humans. I've got like a 36-inch inseam, so the idea is it's a Leonard Zinn design, and the idea is that it gives you a better range of motion through your pedal cycle. And I've talked about that before. How that there's a conversation about how much that matters or doesn't matter, as the case may be. So tomorrow we start getting into more fun stuff. Tomorrow is anaerobic capacity. So I'm going to try to do 12 minutes in AC, and I'm going to have to. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go take a look at all this stuff, because after doing that sprinting and looking at my power duration curve, all of my upper end zones have, my eye levels have gone up, and I need to make sure that I'm going to put in the right amount of efforts. So I may go back. I may bump that back down to 10 minutes at the new levels, just to make sure I don't murder myself tomorrow. And then on that would be tomorrow Saturday. So on Sunday, I'm going to do an SST crisscross workout, which is fast and fun and hard, and that's a good one. That's just one of those classics that it's hard, but especially when you look at your data at the end of the day, like yeah, you know what? I'm getting fast. I'm a fast guy. So hopefully you can catch me then. And you know what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go stretch it out. So, thanks for watching, and I will catch you tomorrow.